and welcome to this episode with Sitting with Your Sis. I am Kyra LeJune, your speaker impact specialist, and when I tell you today, you are in for a treat, almost a double treat, okay? So the name of this episode is called Race to Greatness, and I am truly sitting here in the presence of greatness, greatness in the making, greatness to come that has been coached by greatness, and I'm excited to hear this story. I am joined today with Zaya Akins, who is a Missouri track star on her way to Worlds, okay? I'm excited about this, and so welcome, Zaya. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling extra fit and in shape just because I'm sitting next to her, okay? And so I'm also joined by her dad, Coach Eli Akins, and I am excited to be here with him. They get a chance to work together. They are getting ready to embark on some major moves here that we might get a chance to hear a little bit about. But you all like to, as you know, I like to get to know them, right? So if you don't know them, then I'm gonna ask them a couple of icebreaker questions. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay, so first question. I'm gonna make it simple. Are you a Nike person or an Adidas person?
I'm gonna go with Nike.
Okay, why?
I just wear Nike all the time.
Hey, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. It's Nike for Zaya. What you got, Dad?
Hey, so it depends on the situation. You know
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying? So if she signed a contract, we Adidas, New Balance. Everybody else, we don't mess with Nike. But if we just rocking stuff out, we got the Nike check. That's what we do.
Let me tell you, that's a true dad coach. When he go ahead and put that up, if y'all want to endorse her, we gonna go New Balance if you want to endorse her for the right price. I love it. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, icebreaker question number 2. So you're getting ready, you're practicing, you're training, you're getting ready for a race, or you're in a race. Would you prefer Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade.
Gatorade. What color?
Red.
Oh, she even said the flavor fruit punch is red. Okay, what you got, Dad?
So I know her better than her. All right, so Zaya can't drink Gatorade or Powerade before a race. She'll throw up and get sick.
Really?
So she has to drink water. It's all water.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that was my other question, right? Is it if you do water, is it straight water? Do you add the Crystal Light? Is straight water?
Straight water.
Okay, this is the third part of that question. Room temperature or cold? Ooh, come on.
That's hard. What's when I'm training?
Yeah, when you train. No, before you get ready to run.
Before I get ready to run. I mean, I guess it don't really matter for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll take either or.
Either or, but you got to pick one because we on the show. You got to pick one.
We'll go with cold.
Cold. Okay. Dad.
Cold.
Cold. There you go. See, I'm a room temperature girl. You know, I'm always talking because y'all sitting with your sis. I'm always talking, so the room temperature just kind of soothes my throat a little bit too. Clearly, I'm not an athlete. That's okay though. You are. Okay, last icebreaker question. Would you prefer morning workouts or evening workouts? Morning. Why? You know I gotta ask why.
Because in the morning you get it done over with, and then you got the rest of the day to yourself.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm doing everything wrong because I'm gonna just walk at night, the day is over. It's not working for me. That's okay. What you got, Dan? Morning or
I'm gonna say evening.
Evening, okay.
Yeah, just because I feel like she's woke, she's alert. You know, never know what the workout may be. It may be heavy, it may be light. But if it's heavy, I need her in the day. If it's light, I can do her in the morning.
Love it. Okay, so that was our icebreaker questions. Now you got a chance to get to know Zaya and Eli. There we go.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we've got a chance to get to know a little bit about you, let's dive into your story. Tell me how you got to the point where you enjoyed, running, track, the whole athletic thing altogether. Take us way back. I mean, not that far back. Mind you, she is 16, already breaking records. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that in there. But tell us how you got to this point.
It all started when I was 5. I started training with my dad. My dad used to take me to the track at a middle school my sister went to. We would just work on starts and everything, and then eventually from there at 9, he took me to an actual track club to practice. So I started there. I cried that day because I did not want to go there. I didn't want to do it. But then eventually, after winning these meets and everything, I started like falling in love with it even more. Cause I mean, my dad used to tell me I used to run around the house all the time and all that stuff.
Oh, I love it. I love
that's
it.
kind of
So
where it started.
that's amazing. So even like you said, just getting into track, going to the different track clubs and things like that. Dad, tell me a little bit, because maybe I should have directed this question towards you, because I know that you know the beginning of the story even when she didn't. You know,
Right. So,
talk to me about that.
I mean, it all started when she was like a toddler. Honestly, you know, me and her uncle used to be at the house together, and we were like, so where's Zaya go? Like, she ran, you know, from here to back to the bathroom, like she's already there, and like, quick. And Michael used to be like, man, she's gonna be fast. And he was like, yeah, she definitely gonna be fast. And so when she turned 5, I was like, you know what, she can understand, you know, the concept of starting and running, and her form was like perfect. I got a picture I have to show you, but the form was perfect. I mean, he's like,
Wow.
yeah, this gonna work. And so every Sunday after church, what we did before we even ate, we went out to the track. She had practice.
Wow.
And then she started beating her cousins, which is boys, and we just went from there.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So let me ask you, and I'm gonna start with you, Dad, and then I'm gonna come to you, Zaya. Do you believe that stars are developed, or do you think that they're born already a star?
I would say both.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think Zaya was born with the natural ability, and what I did is just because I ran track too. I'm like a student of track, I always have been, and so what I knew, I put my knowledge into her, and I saw her just getting better and better and better. Now, if I wasn't there, I don't think she ever would have developed to the athlete that she is today. She would have been
that's
good,
That's
but she
good.
wouldn't have been great. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. Okay, so the combination of the both, being born a star and developed.
Yes.
What about you, Zaya? What's your point of view on that?
I completely agree with him
Okay.
because, like he said, like I'm a good athlete. Like there's good athletes, but if you don't have that like correct training and stuff, you won't be as great as you want to be.
Yeah. I love it. I would agree too. I would probably lean more on the side of just you are born a star, and I feel like everybody has the ability to shine. However, like you said as well, you have to develop that. You gotta, brighten that light. You have to actually find that path to where you will shine the most, and so that's something that I teach even with my coaching, is like everybody has a message, everybody has a story, but it's really up to you to develop how to deliver that effectively, find your audience, and to really be impactful. So 100% agree with that. So I previously, when we were talking, you talked about even through the process of running and developing, the skill set, we had a little bit of a bump. You broke your leg. Tell me about that experience.
Okay, so I was at volleyball practice.
Okay.
We weren't even supposed to touch a ball that day. So that's the crazy part.
Oh, man.
Our coach was mad at us, so we wasn't even supposed to touch a ball that day, but we ended up having a scrimmage because it was the same week as our first volleyball tournament. So we ended up having a scrimmage with like the people that used to play for the team, so like they're all grown and everything now, so they just came back to play. I went up for a hit, I came down, landed wrong, and usually when something is wrong with me, I can usually get up and walk it off. I could not stand on my leg. Like it hurt to walk. I couldn't do it.
Wow.
So luckily my dad had actually came in like probably like 5-10 minutes beforehand to sit and watch, and practice was almost over anyway, so he was coming to get me. Luckily he was there. He was like, Zaya, get up. I'm like, bro, I can't. Like I can't.
Oh,
so
wow.
he had to carry me to the what is it, the stands or whatever. And my leg was like swollen. He didn't even notice it was swollen.
I see the scar there.
Yeah.
Wow. Your story. Dad, what was that experience like for you?
Man.
I know, I heard you sigh. He was like, ugh, like y'all feel it now. Like
my
you just
heart,
broke.
like, I had just pulled up, went in the gym, sat down, and I was confused because I'm like, why are they playing? Because they're not supposed to be playing volleyball today because they got in trouble, had a bad game, so they was just gonna run and stuff like that.
Okay.
They just happened to play, and Zaya, I seen her come down, heard her say Jesus. I looked. I'm like,
Call him, girl.
She just got a sprained ankle. Yeah, she definitely did. I said, she only got a sprained ankle. Zaya, get up. Dad. He said, Zaya, just walk it off.
Wow.
You know, I'm in denial because I'm thinking like track. I'm not even thinking volleyball.
Wow.
I'm like, she's like, Dad, you don't see this?
Right.
I said, I can't say what I said, but
Right.
I was like, Man,
family
and
show.
so, I was like, man. And so everybody just paused and just looked at me like,
Right.
dang, we done messed up.
Yeah, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So had to take her to the hospital, had to go pick up her mom, and then we took her to the hospital. They was like, well, we're going to have to put her in the ambulance and rush her to Children's Mercy. Because
Wow.
she's going to have surgery, you know.
Wow.
They say we got good news, we got bad news. It is broken, but it's a clean break. And there's so much swelling around it right now, we can't do anything. So we're going to put her in the ambulance, take her to Children's Mercy, and you guys can meet her there. So that put her out for the whole track season. I mean, the year before, didn't we just win?
Yeah, we had just won.
We just won the 1, the 4, and got second in the 2.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, break that down. The 4s and the 2s and the 1s.
Okay, so-
yeah. Come on, talk to me, Dad.
You got it.
All right, so the 100-meter dash is just 100. It's 100 meters.
Okay, 100-meter dash is 100
100
meters.
meters.
Okay, for
So-
the non-runners, the bottomly challenged people like myself.
The 200-meter dash is adding another 100 meters. That's the 100-meter curve plus the straightaway.
Okay.
So, and then the 400 is one time around.
There we go.
Yeah. So
There we go. Okay.
she had placed top in all of those. We predicted she was going to come back and win all 3 actually the
Wow.
following year, but this happened. But now that I look at it, it happened for a reason.
Wow. So powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just went through the story. You broke your leg. We're devastated. This is about 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade.
7th grade. Oh man. Okay. This is just after winning, being the great, like knocking everything out of the park, and then life hits unexpectedly. Break your leg. Tell me, Zaya, what were you feeling? Like, how were you feeling mentally, emotionally? Like, what was that process for you?
For me, it was kind of hard because not that I don't have problems, but I don't usually have like big problems like this. Like, I never expected myself to break my leg or have any type of serious injury where it really takes me out. So like, when it came to coming back and stuff, that's where I felt like I really had like emotionally and mentally had to like put myself in it. Like, I'm like, okay, like we're able to do this, but I had doubt in myself. I wouldn't even lie. Like, I doubted myself a lot because I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is the end. Maybe I won't be able to run again. I won't be as fast. Like, sometimes I cried because it was really hard. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, first of all, let me just thank you for being honest and truthful and vulnerable in that moment. You know, even though you are a great whatever you put your mind to, fill in the blank, you know, you are a great. I think sometimes as human beings, we don't allow ourselves to be honest, especially when we're used to winning and being on a pedestal and everything going perfectly, like never broke anything in my life. But then when life happens, I appreciate you just having the self-awareness to say, hey, man, I was sad. I cried about that. Like, I was not expecting things to not go my way, right? So that just shows, first of all, your character. That shows your upbringing. You know, it's one thing to coach physically, but you also have to be coached mentally and emotionally and spiritually and everything. And so, Dad, during this process, and I know as a coach, let me back up, as a dad first, you know, let's give that title the respect that it deserves. As a dad, to see your daughter broken, physically and a little bit emotionally, you know, in this state, not to mean that we won't be healed and still being the great that we are. How were you in this moment? Tell me how you felt.
I was kind of upset for the fact that I've been wanting to pull her from volleyball. Like, and you know, I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because she loved volleyball too.
Okay.
You know, people say, well, you need to let the kids do 2-3 sports. So I was trying to be that dad that allowed her. And then because I allowed her, she ended up breaking it. So part of me was like, dang, is this your fault for not pulling her as a dad?
Wow.
Or, you know, is it just something that happened? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I was real hurt, but I said, you know what? We're going to take this and we're going to build off of it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because this will be a crazy comeback story.
Yes.
If she actually comes back. Because I had doubt in my mind too, because that's athletes that hurt themselves that didn't come back like they was. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You know, I had a bad hamstring pull and never got below 10-4, 10-3 again because of my hamstring, you know. And so I was like, man, I hope this don't affect, because this is a tibia bone, like, in here, and they got screws in it that's crossing each other. But, you know, Once she got out the hospital, gave her about a week. He was like, all right, Zay, you ready to start working?
Yeah.
You know, and believe it or not, she was like, yeah.
Wow.
And we did workouts. I mean,
Wow.
I got video of workouts that if it's just standing up on the couch, you know what I'm saying, trying to strengthen their leg, because you see how big her thighs is. They was like this small.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They had died.
Yeah.
The whole quad muscle had died. And so we had to go to rehabilitation, and then I had to get on the internet, read up on everything, how to build it back and get it. It took forever to be back the same size, you know. But we fought through it and we did it.
That's it.
Yeah.
We fought through it and we did it.
Yeah.
We fought through it and we did it. Okay, so you gotta tell me about, just because I'm a daddy's girl, I'm a daddy's and a mama's girl. I just love my whole family, right? Let me not act like it's not what it is. But it's still always something about that daddy, right? I just listened to you say, like, man, like, you know, you felt her pain. I think back to the time, and it's not equivalent to breaking a knee, but I think back to the time when I first started dating. And, you know, my dad was like, oh, so you like this dude? I'm like, yeah, I think. Am I about to get in trouble? You know what I mean? Right. I want to be open and honest, but how you about to take this? But one of the things that he said, and I will never forget it, is that, he's like, you like this dude? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, y'all kissed? I'm like, yes. And literally, we were sitting in the car, and my dad got quiet, and one tear rolled. It was like the glory, like, tear, for real. One tear rolled down, and I'm like, Daddy, I'll never kiss a boy again. I'm so sorry. And he said, no. He said, I'm only crying because, as your father, there are things that I want to protect you from, and I never want you to feel pain. But I know in this moment, I have to allow you to grow. Oh my God, here I am. I'm 37 now, and I remember word per word. Like, we laugh about it. So I can only imagine even physically seeing her broke, you know, and going through that transition. But tell me about what you did every day for her. I love it.
All right, so finally, when she was able to go back to school, we had to go pick up a wheelchair. She had this big, what do you call it, brace on her leg. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, her mom had to help her get in the shower, wash her up. She had to come in our room every night to wash up because she couldn't do it by herself because of the cast. You know, me and her mother had to do it. And so we did all that. And then when she used to go back to school, I pushed her literally every day to her classroom. Said, hey, have a good day. Love you. See you after school. And so it was hard.
Look, she's smiling now. I know, yes, I'm putting you all on the spot.
It was hard because we had to get this wheelchair out, we had to put it down.
Get me up.
It was a lot. Get her out of the car. And so, you know, that's why nowadays people in wheelchair, I got all the utmost respect because just pushing her to class every single day, it was a challenge. You know what I'm saying? And so thank God I had my own business at the time. And I didn't have to go to work, and so I can do it. And it was fun because I got to meet a lot of kids in the hallway.
For sure.
That's Zaya's dad. That's Zaya's dad. All that. So, you know,
I love it. Yeah. That's powerful. And that's an experience, even in a broken place, to know that, like, my dad's going to hold me down.
Absolutely.
My dad coach is going to hold me down, even if it meant physically picking you up, putting you in your wheelchair, taking you to where you need to go. That type of support system, I mean, that's something I feel like I can, you know, say this for Zaya, that she'll never forget. Right. That's the experience that she'll never forget. That's so I just wanted to be sure to highlight that portion of your story. Okay, so now we have been through the brokenness, period, physically, emotionally, all of that. And now we're starting our healing process. We're starting the healing process. And as we know, sometimes we cannot do that alone, you know? And so I want to talk about, we have your dad coach, and we're going to talk about how that experience is, like, you know, the ups and the downs. But tell me about your training team, your coaches and mentors.
I have quite a few.
Okay.
Obviously my dad, my high school coach, Coach Stevie, and then Coach CB, and Coach Muna. Okay, so CB, just because I want to, you know, give everybody the credit. What does that stand for? Is that a real name? Is that a CB? Is it? That's what it is.
CB.
Okay, yeah. CB. Got it. I just want to be sure. CB and Muna. Muna Lee.
Yes.
Please tell me about Muna Lee, because I was excited to learn about her.
So Muna Lee is an Olympian from here, Kansas City, Missouri. She went to Central. She was the most decorated athlete at LSU. She has a couple records and medals and little bit of everything from everywhere.
Yes, Muna Lee. Muna Lee. Some of you all may know her, like I said, most decorated athlete out of Kansas City. Zaya's coming. For now, we coach by the greatest. So, I mean, what is that experience like being coached by the greatest, really, as we're on our race to great?
It's an experience because she lets me in on the details about like the behind the scenes stuff, like how Olympic athletes are, like some of the greatest, because she pretty much knows everybody. So I get to get the intel on that, how to do like the college and stuff, like the recruitment and all that stuff. And she's taught me like a little certain stuff about sprinting, like just like little stuff. So it's really cool.
Little things that you can make the adjustment that it'll take you the extra mile. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, most of the time in track and in running, it's a difference of a second or two or a 0.2 second something, you know. So that, I love that portion of your story to know, like we said before, we were born a star, developed as a star, but a part of your development, you are being developed by other stars, by other great people, by other world record breaking, you know, individuals, and that's amazing. So that's super cool. Dad, what's your feedback on that?
It's been great with Muna. Like she said, there's certain technical pieces that Zaya needed, and she put it in there. I think she had Zaya for almost a year, you know, working with her. And so developing her speed part and all that. And so because I wanted somebody who knew more than I knew.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? To take her to that next level, because I'm not naive where I'm saying, oh, I'm going to get her to, and I've never been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to find somebody who's been there and say, hey, can you help me get her here?
Ooh, that's powerful. I have to find someone who has been there and say, can you help me get there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Like, and even as a father, it's so easy to be like, no, I know what's best for mine. You know what I mean? The humility that you have to say, no, I want someone that knows something that I don't, so we can both go together. Man, that's powerful.
Yeah,
that's powerful. How is it as your dad being a coach, right? I'm loving this reaction. Hey, as your dad being a coach, you know, does it continue when you go home? Is it like, okay, we a coach at the gym. All right, Dad, like, I need you to be a dad right now. Like, how is that?
Yeah, he be coaching at home. He be telling Zay, we need to do this, we need to do that. Then I'm like, bro, I know, like, chill for a second. Like, we at home, like, let me relax. But yeah, he does on, off, everywhere we go, he talking about track or something.
I love it. I love it. Dad, how do you cut off at home?
I don't know. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of those people who loves track. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a student of track. You know, if I'm watching something, or if I'm driving around a curve, Zay, I'm finna get them on this curve. And this car, I literally do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I love track. And so, how do I cut it off? My wife says family time. Like, Lisha, leave her alone. Let's do this. Let's eat dinner at the table. And then we end up talking about track. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's in us.
We can take those moments of balance.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to your mom. Shout out to mama just saying, hey, I know that we are training the great, but there's balance. You know, not only is she an athlete, but she is an individual. She is a daughter. You know, she is a young lady, you know. So that's awesome. That's awesome. That's good. That's good. Well, I'm excited to hear that. All right. So while we are sitting here with your sis, let's talk about where you are now and where you're getting ready to go. Because I know that you are getting ready to embark on one of the largest platforms of your career thus far, because we know that you're going further. So tell us, you are now preparing for the U20s Worlds?
Yes.
let me look into the camera when I say that. Zaya Akins, the one we were sitting here with right now, 16, the best out of Kansas City. Oh, sorry, Missouri, not just Kansas City, Missouri altogether. Let me just say, she is now preparing for U20s Worlds, USA Worlds, okay? Follow her on Instagram and, you know, all that good stuff, and you can see what she's doing. Now, back to this, right? That was a little commercial break, shout out. So tell me, Zaya, what does this mean? What are U20s for those that don't know? I learned what it was, but help us understand the importance of U20s.
So U20 Worlds, the closest thing to make it easier to explain is pretty much the Olympics, but it's Worlds for the junior team, like U20s. Okay. Like the pros have Worlds, and it's just everybody from across the country that's qualified at their championships. So we had USA championships, Jamaica had their championships, all that stuff.
Got you.
So it's all them coming together, a big meet. It's just like one of the biggest meet competing against people all over the world.
Yes, competing with people all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Tell us how we got here, Dad. Like, I
Man,
know she just had a race that she did her thing.
Yeah, so she had to run in the U20 championships in Eugene, Oregon. Something we've been prepared for from last fall.
Wow.
You know, we've been working because me and CB was like, bro, CB actually brought it to me. He's like, she going to Worlds. I'm thinking in my head like, bro, we kind of pushing it with Worlds, but we gonna try.
Come on,
He's
manifest that thing.
He's like, I promise you, she going. When she go, we gonna go smoke a cigar, whatever. And so she went to U20s and showed out and got 3rd overall coming out of prelims, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in finals, man, Zaya was running. She was doing good. She was leading. I mean, she came off the curve into the 100-meter stretch. She was still winning.
Woo.
And I stood up like, dang, she about to win this. You know what I'm saying? But then I can tell, I said, shoot, lactic acid's building up because she's starting to get really heavy in her running. And her arms is not moving as fast. And then here comes Mackenzie from Coastal Carolina University. She's a college girl that's really good in the 400. And she passed Zaya up. And you knew lactic acid because Zaya will fight to the end. She had no more fight in her.
Okay.
And so, but she didn't give up. She kept going.
For sure.
And so she got 2nd and still made it to Worlds.
But I mean, let's talk about that. That 2nd is that in the country? No. 2nd
in the U.S.
In the U.S.
Yes,
And then Zaya's in high school.
Yes.
The young lady from California is a college student, correct?
Coastal Carolina, yes.
Carolina, not
Carolina,
California, my
yeah.
bad. She's a college student.
Yes.
Come on now. Like, let's not play that down.
Right. Sure.
And it still put you in place to qualify to go to Worlds.
Yes.
I mean, what's understood does not need to be explained.
Right.
This is greatness. Like, that's amazing. That's powerful. So, Zaya, tell us, how do you prepare for a track meet?
Typically, I just stay to myself because I have real bad nerves. So I stay to myself. I talk to God. I talk to myself just to uplift myself because I'm like, I did it before, so I can do it again.
Yes.
So, like, we'll be all right. And sometimes I recite a verse, 2 Timothy 1:7.
Which reads,
For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the power of love and a sound mind.
Yes, did you hear that? God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind and fast feet. I love it. I love it. That's powerful. That's good. What do you like to eat before track meet?
Pizza.
Now you're talking my language. I can understand that. What do you like on your pizza?
Pepperoni and pineapples.
And pineapple. Did y'all hear that? Y'all they sleep on the pineapple.
They really is sweet.
It's like a little sweet on the end.
Sweet and savory.
Sweet and savory. You heard it here. Hey, if y'all want Zaya to endorse your pineapple pizza, that's awesome. Dad, how do you prepare for when she has a track meet?
It's a lot of prayer. Because one of the things that I know Zaya's going to do good because her natural ability and her hard work. Yeah. So my prayer is always, Lord, cover her so that her body, her muscles, everything is okay. Because if you run in a race and you can pull that muscle instantly and everything's over, you know. And she experienced that at state. She got cramps in both of her calf muscles and she stopped. But we still believe that was for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot of prayer, a lot of nauseousness, sick, you know what I'm saying? As it get closer, I get sick, she gets sick. Her mom was like, would y'all just relax? And then when the race comes, mama's sick now. You know what I'm saying? And so, everybody feeling it. So it's just, serious prayer.
That's good. That's good. That's awesome. I do want to ask you this, just because I know that a lot of our listeners are speakers, they're influencers, they are people that are on platforms, or they have a desire to get to a platform where you are. How do you prepare for like your before the race speech or after the speech? Like you've mentioned that you get a little nervous. So like, what's the mindset that you do to say, hey, I got to get up and kind of tell my story. This is how I felt. How do you prepare for that?
Wait, I'm confused. I'm like,
no, that's okay. So like, and maybe, I don't know if this has happened or not yet. So for interviews, if they're saying, hey, we want to talk to Zaya after the interview, how do you prepare of what to say?
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I be saying the same thing over and over.
That's cool.
Somebody talk to me because it's like, I mean, they ask the same questions and I have the same answer. So I just,
No, but that's a key, right? Because that's something that I teach. Sometimes it's just repetition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your story is your story. Like you
Right.
said, I'm going to say the same thing. Like, I don't have to try to come up with something or make up a lie. No, I'm going to be me. And there's nothing wrong with just saying, hey, I know my story. I can rehearse it. Anybody asks me the question at any part of my story, I know it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes as speakers, people forget about that. They try to overcompensate for who you already are. You were born that same star. You're going to be the star. The same conversation they ask you at Worlds, you're going to have the same one at the Olympics and everywhere else that you are going. So good. I appreciate your honesty in that moment. Good for you. Daddy, I'm sure you have some after or before or after interviews as well. Is there any technique that you use to prepare for that?
No, it's just honestly about Zaya, you know, because 90% of the questions is about her. What does she do to prepare for this?
Yeah.
And so, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually, you have to have it all together in order to run a race. And that's what I tell everybody. And so it's just really no preparing. It's just, you know, whatever God leads you to say honestly about your daughter.
Yes.
You know? So, yeah.
Honestly, just being your authentic self.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Two very important points that I want to be sure to highlight. I mean, be yourself, be honest,
Right.
and then it's okay. Continue to tell your story the way that you tell your story. I love it. I love it. You heard it right here, sitting with Sis, okay? Okay, so awesome. First of all, I have just had an amazing time
Absolutely.
with you all. Like, you make me feel young. You make me feel like I can run my race to greatness, okay? But I do want to allow in this moment, and I'll start with Dad, if you don't mind, Zaya. I'll start with Eli, and I want you, what would you say to encourage another parent that may be developing that star, that leader, whether it's athletically or if it's just professionally? What would you say to that parent that's in their role to say, hey, I see greatness in my child. What do I need to do? What are my takeaways that I need to just kind of focus on to develop them, to make sure they get to where they need to go?
One of the things I think they have to understand, sometimes we confuse greatness. Just because I was great don't mean Zaya was going to be great. And just because I ran track don't mean Zaya's going to run track. So we got to recognize and that's why it's important to pay attention to our kids and develop them in the right area.
Yeah.
Because everybody's not going to run track. Everybody's not going to play football. Everybody's not going to play basketball. They might not even play sports. They give maybe preaching. They give maybe
Absolutely.
starting a business. They give maybe this. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but that comes when paying attention to what your kids do. You know what I'm saying? And then have patience with them. You know, I started Zaya with 5. I had to have patience because she always wanted to play. She always wanted to joke.
Yeah.
And you just have fun with them. Don't push them to the point where they turn 7 to 8, be like, Dad, I don't want to go run. I've never had that problem with her.
Very good.
Because
Wow.
I fussed at her.
Yeah.
Because if I'm teaching her something 30 times and you still not getting it, I know you can get it.
Yeah.
You know, I stayed on her about it, and then she ended up getting it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's pretty much it. And just the biggest thing is paying attention to how they're developing as a child. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the biggest thing right there.
I love it. Thank you for sharing
No
that. That's
problem.
powerful.
No
Pay
problem.
attention to how they are developing as a child. Zaya, in this moment, if you could speak to another young lady, African American, you know, that may be saying, hey, I feel like I'm on my road or in my race to greatness, what would you say to just encourage them to keep going in their race?
I would tell them to never talk bad about yourself. Have that self-confidence. Believe in yourself before anybody can believe in you.
Yeah.
Because if you believe in yourself and you believe that you can take yourself to that next level, then it'll be easier for other people to believe in you.
Absolutely.
And don't let nobody just tear you down like that.
Yes.
It's you, it's your path, it's what you want to do. So believe in it and go for it.
I love it.
Absolutely.
You heard it right here. Sitting with Sis, Kyra June, your speaker impact specialist. When I tell you this has been so amazing, thank you so much for taking time out. I mean, they have tons of interviews from everybody, news, ESPN, all that stuff like that. But I appreciate you taking some time to sit down with your sis. I am cheering for you. I am rooting you on at Worlds and beyond. You're already a star. You're already a winner, regardless of what people say or what the outcome is. But you can definitely rest assured that you got a cheerleader in me. Okay? And I know that there are followers out here that would love to cheer you on as well. So let us know where we can keep up with you, follow you, hear from you, communicate with you, and cheer you on.
So y'all can follow me on Instagram at Raya.z. It's 2 Y's and 3 A's.
Okay.
RIYA.
There we go. And then Eli, let us know where we can just kind of keep in contact
Follow
with
me
you.
on Instagram at e.akins_82.
Okay.
On there, and then Facebook, Eli Akins.
Okay, so tell me, you have a particular gym that you are training in, working in, that people can connect with you?
The gym, as you see right here, whatever you can see.
On location.
You know, it's called Top Tier. We train all ages. You know, we start at 10. Let me stop. We start at 10 and go up.
Okay.
If you see something great in a 7-year-old, come and talk to me. I'll let you know if he's great or not.
Okay.
But it's at Top Tier. We're at Javi Arena. We're on the first floor, Suite 103. So if you're interested, just hit us up or hit me up on Instagram. We'll get you signed up.
Awesome. Thank you again for being here. Thank you again for tuning in. Do not forget to follow them. Cheer Zaya on. We are expecting greatness from her. She's already great, and we're wishing her beyond. You are watching Sitting with Sis. I am Kyra June, your speaker impact specialist. Have a great day. I'll see you next episode.
No, just wait. No, come on. All right.
Go.
Come on. You Sis. Put me on the team. Put me on the team. Wow. I'm ready. My thighs, Lord. Wait, you saw it here. I'm ready. Take me to USA World.
You made a champion out of me. It's so good to feel victory, though it was hard to believe. You made a champion out of me.